quorum being present, this special town meeting will come to order. The warrant for this special town meeting was signed by the Board of Selectmen on April 11, 2018. The warrant is posted on the town's official website pursuant to the town's general bylaws, and the warrant was posted by Constable Anthony Keeney on April 12, 2018. Therefore, I declare that the requirements of Chapter 2, Section 3 of the general bylaws of the town and Chapter 39, Section 10 of the Massachusetts general laws have been satisfied. Before I go further, can everyone hear me? Okay, good. The moderator and town clerk have appointed the following as tellers of this town meeting. Left side, Lorraine Carbone. Right side, David Goodfellow. Center, front and stage. Is that Fabian? Yeah, this is Fabian. And for the center rear, Richard Nichols. All the above have been sworn in by the town clerk. This meeting will be operated in accordance with Massachusetts general laws, the town's general bylaws, and by precedent of prior town meetings. While the town bylaws address some of the parliamentary procedures, prior town meetings have relied upon the volume town meeting time as the standard for conduct at Lakeville town meetings. It is my intention to continue. You will note that 2 microphones have been posted in each of the 2 aisles, and we've even tried to make sure that there was a light underneath each one of them. You must go to one of the microphones if you wish to speak. You must be recognized at the microphone to be recognized by me, and please state your name, and you can state your address if you wish to do so. If you have a motion, please have it prepared in writing so that the clerk will have it as part of the official record of this meeting. Unlike many towns, we have no standard relative to the length of while someone may speak. Generally, that has not been an issue. However, I will exercise my prerogative to keep the meeting moving if I find that the speaker repeats the same points that he or she has raised. Shouting from seats, booing, cheering of individual speakers cannot be permitted. Any member who interrupts the town meeting is unacceptable and will be escorted out, and such a member may not return to that meeting. Do not lose your vote. That is the colored sticker, okay? And stick to the town meeting behavior. As part of past practice, I will allow the maker of the motion an opportunity to speak on the motion before recognizing anyone else. After the maker of the motion has had an opportunity to speak, I will seek the recommendation of the Finance Committee. Then, any other registered voter may speak on the article in question. When the motion comes to a vote, I will ask that you hold up the yellow colored voting card. At this stage of the game, the only real issue is it yellow, okay? It's been issued to you as you got registered when you arrived. If I can easily determine the quantum of vote, I will ask you to lower your cards. However, if there is a counted vote, I will ask that you hold up your voting card and keep it elevated so that the teller can see it and count your vote in your section. The use of the voting card will assure that only voters of registered eligible voters are counted. Your voting card has a yes and no side on it. This is printed just in case we have a secret ballot. I do not anticipate that this evening. Don't you lose your voting card. We cannot give you a substitute. Motions to reconsider can only be made by one who has voted on the prevailing side. A motion to reconsider is acceptable only if new information has come to light that might have caused members to vote otherwise had the information been available earlier. A motion to reconsider is not acceptable simply because many people have left. This is a parliamentary ploy, and it will not be allowed. A motion to reconsider must pass by a 2/3 vote by Lakeville bylaw. By past town tradition, a motion to reconsider an article can only be made once. We are reminding you that no food is allowed in the auditorium. However, a beverage is certainly acceptable. Let us now stand and pledge allegiance to our country's flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may sit. I would like to now introduce the stage members. To my left, Lillian Drain, the town clerk, followed by Rita Garbett, the town administrator, Greg Corribo, the town council, Mitzi Hollenbeck, the selectman, Aaron Burke, selectman, John Powderly, selectman, George Velopoulos, finance committee, Daniel Holland, finance committee, Ryan Trahan, finance committee, Catherine DeRoche, finance committee. Does anyone require a copy of the warrant? If you do, raise your hand, and a counter will come over and make it available to you. This light's off. We're all good? Now that you all have a copy of the warrant, I will seek a motion to waive the reading of the warrant. Do I hear a second? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. We do not have to read the whole warrant before we start. Before I get to Article 1, I just would like to call your attention to this flyer, which is available also as you leave, and it was available as you came in. It's from the Master Plan Committee, and they're seeking input in doing some planning, and would really appreciate townspeople letting them know their ideas. So you can go onto the Lakeville Master Plan in the Serped.org website, and you can indicate your opinions, ideas, and so on that. And if you need get it on the way out. Let us begin. Article 1.
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to transfer from available funds certain sums of money in order to defray unanticipated costs for the fiscal year 2018 for various accounts in the general fund as set forth on page 30 of the warrant.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Does the Finance Committee have a recommendation?
Finance Committee recommends approval.
Would you like to speak to it?
I would. This is essentially a housekeeping article because we have a special town meeting. We typically do this at the special town meeting prior to the annual town meeting when we have line item transfers between budgetary line items. We can't necessarily overexpend certain line items. So we are proposing a transfer from the veterans expenses, as currently through April 30th, our veterans expenses costs have come in significantly lower than what we had budgeted originally, and putting that over to the information technology expenses, which have come in a little bit higher than what was anticipated.
Does anyone wish to speak to the article? Seeing no one, we'll go to a vote. It's a majority vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say no. I declare it a unanimous approval. Article 2.
Mr. Moderator, I am Aaron Burke from the Board of Selectmen, and I move that the town vote to transfer the sum of $50,000 from the sale of real estate account for the purpose of designing and constructing renovations to the office space at the town office building, and any costs incidental or related thereto, including but not limited to professional services such as design, planning, architecture, and engineering costs, moving and temporary relocation costs, and furnishings, wiring, and installation of equipment.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Does the Finance Committee have a recommendation?
Finance Committee recommends approval.
Would you care to speak to it, Mr. Burke?
Yes, so this is to renovate the town office building to accommodate for the assessor's office. The town recently sold the assessor's building with the help of the town meeting vote to do so. And the cost is $50,000 for this, which will renovate the town office building for the purposes of making it a little easier for people to get around and creating much better workspace for the employees.
Thank you. Does anyone wish to speak to the article? Seeing none, we'll go to a vote. It's a majority vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed say no. I declare it a unanimous vote. Article 3.
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to transfer the sum of $170,000 from the Water Infrastructure Stabilization Fund for the purpose of designing and constructing a water main extension on Bedford Street to the new police station, and any costs incidental or related thereto, including but not limited to professional services such as design, planning, and engineering costs.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Would you care to speak to the article?
Yes, this is for extending the water line up Bedford Street to the new police station. We currently have $171,186 in the Water Infrastructure Stabilization Fund, so this would be a transfer out for the purposes of spending $170,000 to create that infrastructure.
Thank you. Does the Finance Committee have a recommendation?
Finance Committee recommends approval.
Thank you. Does anyone care to speak to this article? Seeing none, we'll go to a vote. Now, this is a 2/3 vote, and this is the requirement. If it's unanimous, we don't have to count. If it is not unanimous, then we have to have a counted vote. So, all in favor of Article 3, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. No. We'll have a counted vote. Tellers, please count. Now, it's important, you don't have to stand up, but you do have to put your card up, whichever way I tell you, until your section has been completely counted. Okay? So, having your card in your hand, all in favor of Article 3, please raise your cards.
$35?
Thank you. And you got the stage?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All opposed, please raise your cards. One. Thank you. I declare that the vote has passed by more than a 2/3 majority. Article 4.
Yes, Mr. Moderator. Mr. Moderator, I move the town vote to authorize the Board of Selectmen to enter into a contract for a period in excess of 3 years with ABC Disposal Services, Inc. for the purpose of collecting and disposal of solid waste under such terms and conditions as the Board of Selectmen deem to be in the best interest of the town.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Does the Finance Committee have a recommendation?
Finance Committee recommends approval.
Thank you. Mr. Powderly, would you care to speak?
Yes, the town entered into a contract with ABC in 2016 after we discontinued our contract with CMAS. Our tipping fee with CMAS at that time was $95 per ton, and with ABC, it's currently at approximately $62. And so we simply did it to save money. And the town makes us get a town meeting vote for contracts that are in excess of 3 years. That's simply why we're in front of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone care to speak to the article? I see no one. We will move to a vote. It's a majority vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. I declare it a unanimous vote.
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to accept a deed in lieu of foreclosure from Anthony Wade Corporation or the then current owners pursuant to the provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 60, Section 77C, to one parcel of land containing 21.75 acres, more or less, as shown on the plan entitled Subdivision of Land in Lakeville, to be conveyed to Anthony Wade, Inc., dated May 15, 1992, revised June 24, 1992, recorded with the Plymouth County Registry of Deeds in Plan Book 35, pages 540 to 543, which parcel is subject to the tax taking held by the treasurer-collector for unpaid real estate taxes. Said parcel is to be under the care, custody, and control and management of the Conservation Commission under Chapter 40, Section 8C of the general laws, and held for conservation and passive recreation purposes in perpetuity, and to authorize the Board of Selectmen to record the deed, provided the Board of Selectmen determines that the deed and the acceptance will comply with the provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 60, Section 77C.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Does the Finance Committee have a recommendation?
Finance Committee recommends approval.
Before I get into general discussion, there is an attached map of the property on page 31, and if you care to take a look at that, you will get an idea of what we're talking about. It's a piece of landlocked land. Mr. Burke, do you care to speak to it?
Sure. The parcel, actually, if you look at this map, the road that's coming down here, kind of bisecting the map, is Staple Shores Road. So this is already surrounded by protected land to a certain degree. The town is accepting this because the property is needed for the sake of putting a conservation restriction on it for turtle habitat. The current location for the new police station is turtle habitat, and to build on it, we had to find property that we could reserve for the sake of maintaining that habitat in Lakeville. So that's what this is.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. Does anyone care to speak to the article? Please approach the microphone. State your name, Peter.
It's David Gordon. I just wanted to know if anyone informed the turtles that they're going to have to move.
Crawl, baby, crawl. Seeing no other substantial argument, we'll move to a vote. This is a majority vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed say no. It's unanimous. Thank you. Article 6.
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to authorize the Board of Selectmen to petition the General Court for special legislation as set forth on page 32 of the warrant to change the position of town clerk from an elected position to a position appointed by the Board of Selectmen, provided, however, that the General Court may make clerical or editorial changes of form only to the bill, unless the Board of Selectmen approves amendments to the bill before enactment by the General Court, which are within the scope of the general public objectives of the petition.
Thank you. Is there a second? Second. Does the Finance Committee have any kind of a point of view on this?
Finance Committee does not recommend approval.
Thank you. Would you care to speak to the article?
I would. Mr. Moderator, this was a discussion that was started among the Board of Selectmen with regard to some of our elected positions, which relates to the succession planning that we're looking at for the town of Lakeville, as we have a lot of department heads that will be retiring in the next few years, and looking at what the climate is for regards to elected positions, for positions on Park Commission, on any of our elected boards, our town Finance Committee, Board of Selectmen, and the interest that we have within the town. We are looking at this as there's a movement within the state, with regard to both elected treasurers and elected clerks, that there's more availability and more candidates that can be brought to the table. In the event that we are looking for somebody, we are limited with an elected position to a resident of the town of Lakeville. We went through all of the advantages, disadvantages. We had our town clerk did a wonderful presentation for us so that we could kind of put together what the differences between elected and appointed happen to be. Some of the differences that we have as well is that the elected position is not subject to having sick time, vacation time. They are an elected position. Their hours can be malleable in terms of what is required of the position. Could be good, could be bad, but we wanted to really bring it to the voters to decide this. A couple of the other pieces we have here too, accountability. The town clerk may be voted out of office for any reason via election or recall, or otherwise it would be appointed and overseen by department heads within the Board of Selectmen as well. So we have been kind of considering some of these things, and that's what we're bringing to you tonight.
Thank you. Does the Finance Committee have a rationale for its disapproval?
Well, I can speak personally. My opinion is that we have plenty of people within the town that, can everybody hear me? Yeah, we have plenty of people within the town that we feel could run and could successfully do the position. But that's just my personal opinion. If anybody wants to speak.
I agree with George. I think the process is working right now for an elected position of town clerk.
I feel the same way. I think if the town clerk's in a elected position, it has a level of perceived independence from any other elected official or appointed person in town.
Thank you. You don't all have to comment because you did vote a disapproval. Does anyone have anything to say about the article? Bill Markson beat you, but go ahead.
Wouldn't want to disappoint anybody.
I'd let you adjourn.
I think there's a potential for creating a stronger Board of Selectmen, which I don't think is a problem with our present board. I have no problem with our present board, but who knows who we're going to have in the future. And I think it's critical that the townspeople retain the power to determine who their who these officials are, rather than designate to the selectmen the appointment of these people.
Thank you, Mr. Marks.
Mr. Moderator, for the record, my name is Lillian Drain from Apple House Road, and I'm currently the 16th town clerk for the town of Lakeville. I would like to make this statement. The Lakeville town clerk's position has been elected since May 28, 1853, 165 years ago. Currently, 21% of the town clerks are appointed, 79 are elected. Among 351 cities and towns, 254 clerks are elected, 79 are appointed, 18 have granted tenure. This group includes elected and appointed town clerks. Appointed town clerks are more common in cities. The elected town clerk is responsible only to the people of the town. In my opinion, the town clerk is a position that should always be accountable to the residents of the town of Lakeville, and therefore should remain elected. The position of the town clerk serves as the gatekeeper for the town and chief elections officer for the community. I feel strongly that the position should remain party neutral so that it can serve the town government without any bias and is fully accountable to the people it serves and the law that it upholds, and not only to the board, which has its own interest. Although elected clerks are department heads, they are dependent in their actions and are able to appoint an assistant town clerk of choice to assure the independence and integrity to both the office and the work involved. The town clerk knows what the staffing needs are and best qualified to make such appointments. Assistant town clerks may be called upon in the absence of the town clerk to act as the town clerk would. Traditionally, assistant town clerks are the ones that step up to become the next town clerk. It seems to me if the public can elect the Board of Selectmen, they can also elect a town clerk. I would rather put my job before 1,000+ voters once every 3 years than be in the discretion of 3 selectmen that could or could not have a special agenda. As an appointed town clerk, you are one more employee of the Board of Selectmen. As an elected town clerk, you are accountable neither to them nor the town administrator, but directly to the voters. You do, of course, need to build and maintain a good working relationship with the Board of Selectmen and the town administrator. But since town administrators are almost always out-of-towners, he or she would have a good incentive to make town clerks an ally because of your intimate knowledge of the town and because as an elected official, you have your own power base. Daily, elected town clerks go above and beyond what is required by their job description. I completely agree with many of my elected colleagues who said, I think that being elected means that you work a little harder, a little better, a little closer to the residents. As an elected town clerk, you're willing to be able to do those little things that really matter to the residents. There's a certain ownership that comes over you because you're proud to be the elected town clerk of your town. And it's also not just a 9-to-5 job. It's not just a job, it's a profession. The selectmen have neither the time nor the expertise required to make the responsibility of offices that are closed monitored by state laws. I don't believe there's one of them now serving that can tell you what my responsibilities are, nor should they be expected to. The Board of Selectmen said that they're looking for qualified people of the office of the town clerk. Well, I've been an employee for the town for 18 years, 11 of those years in the town clerk's office. I received my Certified Municipal Clerk Certification in 2013 for the International Institute of Municipal Clerks and a Certified Massachusetts Municipal Clerk Certification in 2017. I attend training classes multiple times a year to stay informed with the open meeting laws, ethics, campaign finance, vital records, to better serve the town residents. I'm the chief election official for the town. I serve on the Board of Registrars, the town burial agent, the keeper of town records and history, the public access officer, as well as the ethics liaison. So as you can see, the elected town clerk has an employment longevity that affords them on-the-job training through various town clerks associations. We do have the support that we need to do our job professionally. I wonder if this move is to save money. As an employee of 14 years prior to becoming town clerk, I gave up my sick time, vacation, personal time, and I don't get to accrue any of this, nor am I eligible for workman's compensation or unemployment benefits. As an appointed town clerk, I'm now an employee with full benefits with a higher pay scale, and since I have the experience and certifications. To say that we operate more like a corporation is a misnomer. We are not a for-profit corporation. We're a profit with the bottom line, where profits are the bottom line. We are a Massachusetts municipality, a service organization to serve the needs of our residents with whatever it takes within the law. Government is the vehicle where the rights of the citizens are preserved and service delivered. I feel strongly about keeping the voice of the people intact. People's rights are being taken away from them small pieces every day. Throughout our history, lives have been lost trying to preserve the freedom of our rights to vote. The ballot box is the only place for citizens to make that choice. The issue about keeping democracy alive. I've heard from many of my colleagues, especially from the appointed town clerks, over the years where a town manager or member of the Board of Selectmen have tried to make those things, do things that are not proper, in an attempt to hold that appointment over their heads. Most clerks have stood up to them, and we try to do the right thing, the lawful thing, and many has lost their jobs. Polarization of power in any organization will eventually destroy it. There would be no checks and balances if only a majority of 3 people are allowed to control the destiny of the town of Lakeville. The Board of Selectmen feels that they're better qualified to appoint our department heads and boards than you, the voters of Lakeville. Perhaps they've forgotten who has put them in office. What's next of being appointed? The Parks Commission, the assessors, the Board of Health, the library trustees, the Finance Committee, or the moderator? Or better yet, why don't we add a recall provision to our town bylaws so we can recall elected officials if we're so concerned about qualifications or performances? A system of government is broad-based so that no single entity controls all the power. At the federal and state levels, the executive branches must deal with the Senate and the House of Representatives, a form of checks and balances that preserves representation across the board and prevents any single entity from usurping the power of the people. At the local level, the town of Lakeville, We've been elected as selectmen, treasurer collector, assessor, town clerk, board of health, moderator, finance committee, etc. since 1853. The town has always been successfully managed, always run smoothly, and continues to operate today with a high degree of efficiency. As they say, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. We have a complete faith and trust in the election process and the selection of town official via ballot box. Please don't give your rights away. The future of democracy depends on it. Thank you.
Thank you, Lillian.
Janet Tracy. While I was town clerk, the subject of changing the clerk's position from elected to appointed came up. One of the selectmen approached me and asked what my thoughts were on the idea. I told him that in having the clerk's position elected, the clerk is directly accountable to the people of the town and serves at the will of the people and not at the will of a 3-member board of selectmen or a town manager. It is especially important that during town elections, the clerk's office acts with independence, whereas an appointed town clerk comes with an inner conflict of interest in the area. The job of the town clerk has always been embedded in the idea of accountability and allows observations to be presented to boards without the fear of reprisals. The duties of the town clerk are expanding yearly. Laws are constantly changing, and requirements and duties of the state elections are becoming more time-consuming. Having an elected town clerk frees up time for the selectmen that would have been spent supervising an appointed person. I am of the opinion that keeping the position of the town clerk as elected will serve the people of the town of Lakeville better and not take away their right to democracy. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion?
Mr. Moderator?
Yes.
I would like to add that I am appreciative of this process, which, as we've been talking about and as you've been hearing, we wanted to put this to the people. The people here are the ones who vote on this position. So I think that having the conversations between, Board of Selectmen member and either an elected or previously elected town clerk at least starts the conversation. And I applaud, Lil, and I think she's been doing a great job in what she's been doing. And I'm glad that we're able to have this conversation because I think it's very important for people to understand what they do. And I think it's very important for you to be able to understand what you're looking for when you do cast your vote at the ballot box.
Thank you. Seeing no one else wishing to speak, we're going to go to a vote, and I'm going to automatically have a counted vote, even though it's a majority vote. So will the counters please count? All in favor of this article, please raise your cards.
Mr. Moderator, can you clarify what in favor? Just clarify so everybody knows what you mean by in favor.
In favor of the article as read by Mitzi.
So all those in favor?
Because there's not been any kind of a amendment to this article, so we're only voting on what was discussed. If you vote yes, it means this article goes through. If you vote no, it means that this article dies. And this article is to change the clerk to appointive.
Zero.
Zero. I got 3 zeros. Is there 4 zeros? Yeah. Oh, I did not hear the 4th person.
I have a 0. I have a 0.
Okay. All opposed, raise your cards. It's kind of... Okay, thank you. It's unanimously defeated, okay? Article 7.
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to authorize the Board of Selectmen to petition the General Court for special legislation as set forth on page 33 of the warrant to change the position of Treasurer-Collector from an elected position to a position appointed by the Board of Selectmen, provided, however, that the General Court may make clerical or editorial changes to form only to the bill unless the Board of Selectmen approves amendments to the bill before enactment by the General Court, which are within the scope of the general public objectives of the petition.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Sorry, second?
Second. The Finance Committee have a recommendation?
Finance recommends approval.
Recommends approval? Thank you. Yes. You have the floor because the article has been presented. He's going to amend the article.
I move that the town vote to authorize the Board of Selectmen to petition the general courts for special legislation as set forth on page 33 of the warrant from an elected position to a position appointed by the Board of Selectmen upon the retirement of the current treasurer-collector.
Do I hear a second to the amendment? The amendment has been made and seconded. You have added a provision that the appointive power only comes into play once the present treasurer retires or leaves the office. We now have a discussion, not on the entire article, but only on his amendment. Does anyone wish to speak to it?
I'll speak to it.
Thank you.
So the position is one that's very technical, and it's one that requires functional expertise, and I don't know that we have anybody within the town. And I'm not sure that we have anybody within the town that is qualified. So this would allow the Board of Selectmen to essentially look outside the town to fill such a position. Essentially, that's the rationale.
Thank you. Anyone else have an opinion about the amendment and only the amendment?
Mr. Moderator, with regard to the amendment, I know that, again, as I had spoken previously about the previous article, that we have been discussing the succession planning within the town of Lakeville. We do have an impending retirement of the existing treasurer collector who has made we have not had a formal motion to that extent, but we have been, that has been discussed.
Thank you. Would you care to speak?
Yes, please. Rhea Peroni Martin. I'm still going to say the same thing as we've said before. We're losing our right as a voter to give three people the choice of who's town treasurer. I don't want to lose my rights. I come to town meeting because I like to express my opinion. I like the idea that I can vote at the ballot box for elected positions. So as much as I like your amendment better than the first one, I still don't want to lose my rights as a voter.
Mr. Moderator?
One moment, please.
Oh, sorry.
We're talking about proper wording. Mr. Burke?
I actually, is this thing on? I actually agree with that sentiment of allowing the voters to elect the town clerk and town treasurer, and I think that in my mind, there's a consistency within that thinking because, I voted against both of these being moved forward for town meeting. I guess my question is, what is the differentiating factor between the two positions in the mind of the Finance Committee and how they came out on different sides of that vote?
Finance Committee wish to respond to that question?
Just think when you think someone with the expertise of handling upwards of $20 million a year, developing a search committee and looking outside of the town, I think is more worthwhile than ending up with someone that may run for a position or no one may run for the position, and you get someone just with write-in votes that may not be qualified to do the job and handle money for the town.
Thank you.
Mr. Moderator?
Before you begin, I believe
Yes, Mr.
she's
Moderator.
been standing here.
Deborah Kenny, I've been the treasurer for 18 years, 15 years of them certified. I've worked for the town for 6 in the treasurer's office and payroll and in the clerk's office. I was appointed until election because Rita had become town administrator. When the election came, I ran against two people, and the townspeople voted for me because I had the experience. So I trust the vote of the townspeople. I don't think we need an amendment. I think we need our voice, because if it's not our voice, it's going to be the park department next. It's going to be the assessors next. It's going to be the Board of Health. I hear they're even appointing finance committees now. That's too much power in the hands of one board that I've seen change policy from year to year in some circumstances. That's what I have to say.
Thank you. Mr. Powderly.
Regarding the two suggestions of appointed positions, I voted to change them both to appointed. But I did that for consistency of both positions being in the town hall, both people being there on a day-to-day function. But basically it was to the suggestion by the State Department of Revenue to communities is to appoint municipal treasurers and tax collectors rather than have town people elect them. There's a variety of reasons that you could read online if you so choose to. So that was a big factor in my decision. The other one was that the legislative director of the Massachusetts Municipal Association sent an email that moving from elected to appointed municipal finance officials is a trend towards the increased professionalism of local government. So I was basically saying that I believe that it opens the pool to a much greater extent, but I voted for both to be consistent. But basically, I would go along with the Massachusetts Municipal Association and the Department of Revenue. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Powder.
Hi, Gordon.
John
Hurd.
Hurd. Yes.
I'm a little bit confused by the amendment itself. If I heard it read correctly, you said until the retirement, upon the retirement of the current treasurer.
And then it becomes
But the
appointed.
current treasurer is going to run at least once or twice more. So just effectively in that scenario, let's say somebody else beats the current treasurer. What happens with your amendment? Does that mean that this automatically goes into effect? So
That's a good question.
Mr. Moderator,
Yes, Town Council. I'm not answering this one.
Thank you. I've been furiously writing in as neat a handwriting as I possibly can a suggested friendly amendment to this motion to put a clause into the special act which would say words to the effect of that the current treasurer-collector shall continue to hold office until the expiration of their term or their sooner vacating office. And either at the end of their term or when they sooner vacate office, then at that point, the Board of Selectmen would become the appointing authority for the new appointed treasurer-collector position.
Does everyone understand what he just said? He said that he's trying to word this in such a way that it would make this position held by the present treasurer to the end of her present term, or if she leaves the office earlier, then that would be the cutoff, and then after that, the position would be appointive. That is what he's essentially trying to say through the new verbiage. Mr. Markson.
Mr. Moderator, I think it might be time-saving if we were to get a sense of the electorate right now as to how they feel on the main motion before we waste time talking about an amendment.
No, we've got an amendment that was duly presented, and amendments have to be taken care of before motions do, because it changes the motion.
Then I call the question on the amendment.
Do I have a second on calling the question? Question has been called. There is no discussion. All in favor of calling the question, which means cutting off discussion and moving to a vote on the amendment, please raise your cards. Thank you. You may put them down. All opposed, please raise your cards. I see Very few cards. The motion has passed. We are calling the question, which means we now move to a vote on the amendment only.
Mr. Moderator,
Yes.
may I read the text of the proposed amendment?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so the proposed amendment would be, and if you're looking at, please, page 33 of your warrant has the special legislation. The proposed amendment would say, I move to amend the proposed special act by deleting section 2 and replacing it with the following. Section 2, notwithstanding the provisions of section 1, the incumbent holding the office of treasurer-collector on the effective date of this act shall continue to hold office and perform the duties thereof until the expiration of the term for which he or she was elected, unless he or she sooner vacates office. After the term of the incumbent holding such office has expired, or the office is sooner vacated, the Board of Selectmen shall appoint a treasurer-collector in the manner set forth in section 1.
Do you understand that? Okay. I hear no no's this time. We are now voting only on the amendment. All in favor of the amendment, please raise your cards. Thank you. You may put them down. All opposed to the amendment, please raise your cards. Thank you. You may put them down. The motion fails. We now move to the amendment. To the motion. All in favor of the motion. Well, we don't have to do that yet. Does anyone want to comment further on this particular article before we move to a vote?
I'm a little afraid of this microphone.
Wait, just hold the phone.
I think it's important, for the same reasons that we defeated the previous article, that we defeat this article.
Okay.
Mr. Moderator, in looking at the Division of Labor, or DLS, or Division of Local Services statistics, this is in 2015 that we had 261 appointed treasurer positions out of the 351 municipalities, cities, and towns within the state of Massachusetts. I don't have updated numbers at this point as to where we stand currently, but the trend is moving towards the appointed treasurer-collector position, mainly due to the reasons enumerated by the Finance Committee with their decision to back this article as well. Again, as we were looking towards succession planning, this was a consideration that we had that we wanted to bring to you for a vote.
Seeing no one at the microphones, this is the issue. We are voting on the original motion without the amendment because that died. All in favor of the motion, please raise your cards. This is a motion to make it appointive. Thank you. You may lower your cards. All opposed to this motion, please raise your cards. Thank you. The motion is defeated. Okay, we have the precious Article 8. Article 8 is in a separate folder that has been handed out to you. We all there? Okay, Mr. Burke?
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to amend the zoning bylaw by deleting Section 7, Smart Growth Overlay District, in its entirety and replacing it with a new Section 7.7 as provided for in the Planning Board handout, Section 7.7 Smart Growth Overlay Districts. And further, to amend the Town of Lakeville zoning map to create a new 40R subdistrict overlay, as shown, map entitled Town of Lakeville Smart Growth Zoning Overlay District, A, C, 20.40R dated January 18, 2018, prepared by Southeastern Regional Planning and Economic Development District, as shown on page 34 of the warrant.
As printed?
As printed.
Thank you. Now we don't have to read all 18 pages. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Does the Finance Committee have a recommendation on this article?
Finance Committee recommends approval.
Before we get to the reader of the motion, we have to go to the Planning Board to find if they had had a hearing on this.
Yes, the planning board has held a hearing, and, a properly noticed hearing on this, and we voted to advance it to town meeting.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Burke?
Yeah, so the 20,000-foot view of what's happening here is that there currently is a proposed 40B development in this district. What we are proposing is that we make it a 40R, an extension of the existing 40R district, for the purposes of trying to obtain state funding relative to that type of development. So the development is coming. If we do nothing, there's no potential for money. If we make it a 40R, it's more or less the same development, but we can qualify for state funding based on that designation.
Thank you. Mr. Marshall?
Bob Marshall. Mr. Moderator, through you to Mr. Burke. When you read that article, I thought I heard you say deleting section 7. Did you mean to say 7.7?
Yes, if I misspoke, I intended on reading this as written.
Not that I know what I'm talking about. I just wondered if we'd be
I may have.
Okay,
If I did, I was intending on section 7.7 in the first line.
Thank you.
I have a question, an English teacher. Any further discussion on Article 8? It takes a 2/3 vote, and we're going to have a counted, hold on, a last thought, or not.
Hi, Leanne Farrell, Stetson Street. I'm new to town, and I'm trying to get caught up on local politics. So one question that I have is, so this is for low-income housing, right? It's going to be an integrated low-income housing development, so 20% of the units would be for low income, correct? Is that true?
Through me, would you answer the question?
First part.
That's my understanding.
Okay. So my second question is related to the MBTA station that's there. Is there a chance that we're going to lose that station? It seems like there's some controversy in the news about there being a redirected route to Fall River.
I don't believe anyone here can answer that question. That would be a state deal, and it's kind of beyond the purview of the motion.
So yeah, so just, if we're going to be opening up opportunity for low-income housing, just the idea of, there being a means to support the people that may be coming to the district, I just imagine that having access to a train station would be helpful. So I'm, again,
We can tell
getting
you
caught up.
yes on the first, the second,
Okay, there can't be any, there's no comments on that. Okay, thank you.
Seeing no further questions, or do we? Okay, one more.
Barbara Mankowski, Planning Board of 17 Johnson Drive. I just would like to point out the difference between affordable and low income. There's a very big distinction there, and I just want to be clear on that because affordable and low income are not the same thing. Okay?
Well, as long as you're here. You opened the door, now you have to walk in. What is the distinction?
So subsidized housing would be considered for low income. Those are truly indigent people, and if you look at the statistics, that's generally speaking for people over the age of, I think it's 54, the last time I looked, and it's typically single women over the age of 54 that qualify for subsidized housing. Affordable housing means that you have to meet a criteria relative to the income in the community. Last time I looked, I believe that income for our community is somewhere around $70,000 a year. Okay, I mean, someone else may be able to speak to that more readily than I am, but affordable and low income are two different things.
Thank you.
Okay. She just brought up another question. So have we looked into the impact on our fire, police, and schools with this project?
Would someone in the selectman's office care to answer that question?
That's probably better suited for the planning board. I mean, they hold
Okay.
hearings relative to that, or maybe even the zoning board. I mean, we're only bringing this forward for the sake of changing it from a 40B to a 40R. And that distinction is important because we can qualify for state money relative to that. What the proposed impact is the same, whether it's one or the other. So I can't answer the question relative to what the impact would be.
Can the planning board answer her question?
Zink from the planning board. We routinely have to answer this question, and one of the ways it turned out easier this time is that we just did a housing plan for the next 5 years. Actually, SERPED did most of it. We just gave them money to do it. But they did it with a new set of numbers. We're not being overwhelmed by children in Lakeville at all. We need some growth. This has been factored in to our votes in the affirmative for having this development. The good thing about this development, or one of the good things about this development on a slightly different thing, is that this can be the last affordable for a while, because it will take up, everybody in the state has to do 10%. We're at 7.5 right now. This solves this problem for quite a while. So for that quite a while, which I'm talking about, that could be, you have this development which might go anywhere at all. Now you know where it's going. We're telling you it's going down by the train station, in the empty spaces in the back of Commercial Drive and Riverside Drive. And you just decide whether you like that as a spot. We like that as a spot.
Thank you. I think that's as close an answer as we're going to get on that one. Yes.
I just want to, planning board again, Barbara Minkowski. I just want to bring up another point that I think most people here may or may not be aware of, but a 40B means that the developer goes to the state, and the state, if we have not met our 10% requirement for affordable housing, the state will approve it with or without our agreement, okay? So that's already happened. The state has approved this development, from my understanding.
Correct.
Okay? So what we're trying to do here is, frankly, with the agreement and cooperation of the developer, which I think is extremely courteous and considerate, we're trying to actually get some money to come back to the town on the basis of changing it to a 40R, which can really only be done in limited locations. So I think it's really important for people to understand that development's going in anyway. And the thing that I really like about the development contributes to the resiliency of our community, because these are not going to be rentals. There are going to be a portion of them that may be rentals, but that's going to have some age restriction. These will actually be homes that people can own and live in, which we have a shortage of right now for people that want to stay in town and can't afford the big mansions that we have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Point of information, Mr. Moderator? Just the estimated annual money that we would receive is to the tune of around 430. Oh, it's one-time money, I'm sorry.
And then annually, 40 estimates.
Which was what?
The one-time payment is
Yeah. But they said we couldn't get.
we can get that one.
What's the annual?
Why don't we let Rita answer the question?
Okay. So it's about $430,000 we should receive as one-time money, and then we'll get an annual sum of money depending on certain factors that we haven't yet determined.
Mr. Hurd.
Yeah, just a quick question, actually two quick questions. One, maybe Mr. Burke, you can answer. The size of the 40R is exactly the same size as the 40B, right? It's the exact same dimensions?
You may
So
answer.
nothing is changing there?
Correct.
Okay. And the other thing too, Zink almost said it, but not quite. What it's important for everybody to understand is, when you're at 10%, you have the right to say no to any affordable housing project. It's not just about this, it's about the entire town. People should realize that. This is a good article.
Thank you. We'll now move, oh, well, we're not. It has to be different.
So I do want to address the 40R issue with the district. We did meet with DHCD. This might address a little bit of the earlier asked question about if the train station moves, does this still qualify for a 40R district? And the answer that DHCD gave us was yes.
Good. We'll move to a vote. This is a 2/3 vote, and it's got to be counted. So counters, please assume your positions. All in favor of this article, please raise your yellow cards. Thank you. You may lower your cards. All opposed to this article, please raise your cards.
Zero.
Thank you. It's unanimous. This article passes by unanimous decision. Article 9. Aaron, I think you're, oh, no, okay.
Article 9, Sylvester Sienkiewicz, Planning Board. I move that the town vote to amend the zoning bylaw relative to drive-through facility as follows. A, amend section 4.1, table of uses, subsection 4.12, business uses, to delete certain language shown in strike-through and insert new language shown underlined as follows.
Could we do it as printed rather than you read the whole thing out? It's easier to read as printed simply because we know what lines are being crossed out. But if the people would like it all read, we can do that.
Your choice. It turns out most of it's crossed out.
As
if
you
you
wish.
look down here.
All right, but I mean,
and
as
I
you
won't
read
read
the article,
crossed out.
you have to say crossed out, and you have to add all the above. Is there anything in your language that is going to be different than that as it is printed?
Not significantly, no, sir. Not
Well, it's not even
significantly.
significant. If at all, you have to read it.
Say again, please.
If you made any change into what is printed, then you're going to have to read the whole thing. Okay?
Okay. I have to read the whole thing.
Okay, go.
Under the drive-through facility, in industrial, before, it was not allowed. Now it is allowed by special permit. The special permit granting authority in that particular case, I'm just telling you, you can't read this, is the Zoning Board of Appeals. B, amend section 7.4 special permits to delete certain language and insert new language. Drive-through facility, under drive-through facility, special permit granting authority in the Board of Appeals business, and has added industrial district and has added plural to district. Then they crossed out the site plan approval by planning board as a condition of approval for the ZBA, for the obvious reason that having one conditional upon the other is awkward. The site plan approval would still be required from the planning board if the project met a size criteria, like if it was someplace else. I mean, it's not a Boy, is it insignificant. The petitioner shall demonstrate, and now everything is crossed out except that the proposed facility will cause no traffic hazard, congestion, or interference with the flow of traffic, especially at or near intersections, and that the proposed facility will have no detrimental effects on neighboring businesses or residences as determined by the special permit granting authority.
Thank you.
That is it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Does the Finance Committee have a recommendation on this article?
Finance Committee recommends approval.
Finance Committee approves. Did you have a hearing?
Yes, we did. And the zoning bylaw review advisory committee recommended these changes to the planning board by vote. The planning board held the required meeting on March 8th and voted to recommend approval.
Okay.
So-
In other words, the planning board approved the article.
Yes.
Thank you. Any questions? She's already on it. Thank you. We now have a copy of the motion. This is a 2/3, so I'm going to have it counted. I have no way of knowing it's going to be unanimous until it happens. So, all in favor of this Article 9, please raise your cards. Thank you.
26.
26, thank you.
33.
33, thank you.
31.
31, thank you. You may put your cards down. All opposed to this article, please raise your cards. Two. 1. 5. I have 0. I have 2, 1, 5. Was there a 0? Yes. Okay, thank you. The vote is 127 to 8, so it certainly exceeds the 2/3 majority. Article 10. Article 10? Oh, I'm sorry.
Barbara Minkowski, Planning Board. I move that the town vote to amend the zoning bylaw relative to the motion that's been provided. I think everybody has the handout. Can I make
As
a mo-
printed.
Can I make a motion as printed?
Yes, you may.
Okay.
Second.
Seconded. Finance Committee?
Finance Committee recommends approval.
Planning Board? Planning Board have a hearing?
We did.
Did they approve it? Yes, they did. Thank you. You may now speak.
I make a motion to approve this. I think it's a really great idea. We've had public hearings about it. I guess I'd be interested if there were questions.
All right, just stay put and we'll see if I have any questions. Does anyone have any questions about this article? Hold on. Go ahead.
So, Leanne Farrell again. My question would be if the fast food restaurants aren't on municipal water systems, what regulations would be in place for kind of monitoring the water quality that the restaurants are serving?
You have to answer her question if you can.
I don't think I can answer that question, but my understanding from being a member in town is that there isn't actually public water in many of our areas, and it's one of the reasons why we don't have a lot of business. And in order to get that public water, you have to jump through some pretty serious hoops. Did that answer the question?
So then just my only
Yeah.
So just as a follow-up too, so one question that I would have is just, what quality of water would the customers be receiving? And then I would also just raise concerns with increasing fast food restaurants. I would be, open to the idea of having more family-operated restaurants, but I'm just not sure the benefit.
Well, this doesn't cross them off. It just simply puts them in the category of restaurants in general.
Right. Well, and it opens up the language to, a fast food restaurant not being something that the food is being removed off the premise. So I'm just wondering why we're, kind of increasing the opportunity for fast food in particular.
I can speak to that. I'm on the
Wait a
zoning
minute,
bylaw
wait.
review committee, and we put this forward simply to clean up the bylaw. Fast food is regulated typically through the drive-through language, which we have in our bylaw, and this definition of fast food pertain to disposable containers, packages, or other similar wrappings for consumption. That really fits pretty much every restaurant. So we thought that the definition itself was poor. And when we talked about how we regulate it here in town through the Board of Health and the zoning enforcement, it made sense to just do away with this because we deal with it from the drive-through perspective, from the planning board, when they're doing site plan review.
Would you care to speak to that?
That's my understanding.
Yes. In addition to that, the water that you drink, if you pay money for water at a restaurant, they have standards that they have to meet. They're not Lakeville standards. They're state standards. And the state is represented in their quest to make sure you have clean water by the Board of Health, the Lakeville Board of Health. And they have standards right down to how many microns of such is allowed and how many gallons of such. Zoning has nothing to do with that. They added that to zoning, but it doesn't belong anywhere in zoning. It's amply covered as a Board of Health issue and by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Thank you. Any further comment? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. This again is a zoning factor, so it has to be it has to be by counted vote because it's 2/3. So will the counters please count? All in favor of Article 10, please raise your cards. Thank you.
30.
Thank you.
25.
Thank you. 22. Thank you. You may put your cards down. All opposed, please raise your cards.
Zero. 3.
1. The vote is 112 to 4. It's more than 2/3. The article passes. Bless you. Article 11.
Hi, Article 11. I make a motion that the town vote to amend the zoning bylaw relative to filling station and auto or boat sales, rental, or service. As indicated on the written form, I make a motion to use the written form rather than have me read it.
As printed. Okay.
Okay.
Is there a second to your motion?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Does the Finance Committee have a recommendation?
Finance Committee recommends approval.
Thank you. Does the Planning Board have a recommendation in its hearing?
The Planning Board held a hearing and voted to
Approve. Thank you. Anyone have a question? Mr. Hurd.
Yeah, just quick clarification. I think I'm reading this correctly, but I did watch a lot of the meetings leading up to this between the Planning Board and the Zoning Board Review Committee. Under 4.1.3, you have it, you're crossing out allowed in areas served by municipal water for establishments involving storage and distribution, sold wholesale.
Could you please talk into the microphone?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But we're not removing that restriction for filling stations, is that correct?
Would you please state it over again? I know it's not that long, but we only heard half of it.
I'm sorry. How's this?
That's more better.
I just wanted to be, point of clarification, in watching your meetings, there was discussion about removing the requirement for allowing only in areas served by municipal water. And I see it here for storage of distribution sold wholesale. I just wanted to make sure there's not a plan to have it for filling stations as well, that removal.
Is it also for filling stations? That's what he's asking.
So I believe that's a different category. Does someone from the Zoning Board of Appeals or the, there was a subcommittee that we had on revising these laws, have any comment on when that was implemented?
Can anyone answer
Filling
his
stations,
question?
fueling stations, actually, not just filling station, fueling stations were a whole separate category.
Filling stations were allowed only in areas of municipal use as of 2006, approved by the Attorney General. I don't see that being stricken. It was discussed in the meetings. I just wanted to make sure that that's not in here. That strike.
I don't believe it is.
Good.
That answers the question. Seeing no, oh, there is a person. No, okay. He's just making sure the mic works. We'll move to a vote. It's 2/3 because it's a zoning article change. We do have to count, so here we go again. All in favor of Article 11, please raise your cards. I'm sorry?
25.
Thank you.
24.
24.
30.
30.
36.
36. Thank you. You may put your cards down. All opposed, please raise your cards.
0.
0.
0.
2.
Thank you. I get 115 to 2. The motion more than 2/3, so motion, Article 11 passes. Article 12.
Mr. Moderator, Peter Conroy, Planning Board. I move that the town vote to amend the zoning bylaw relative to Upland Circle as written.
Second.
Thank you. As printed? Yeah. Motion has been made and seconded. Does the Finance Committee have a recommendation?
Finance Committee recommends approval.
Thank you. Does the Planning Board have a recommendation?
The Planning Board recommends this change.
Thank you. Mr. Chamberlain.
Since the planning board wrote and approved the original one in 2004, which saved the Conservation Commission a lot of work, why are we now going back to the way it was?
I could speak to that.
You do.
We had so many redundancies in the zoning requirements to build on a piece of property that it was a recommendation by the building commissioner to not ease up, but we had so many redundancies in the setbacks, the upland circle, the frontage, and the dry area that the lot had, that we were able to change it slightly in the hopes that this would slightly help out some citizens that were experiencing difficulties building on their lots. It's not a lot of area, but he has been presented with lots that were perfectly buildable, but because of the verbiage, they couldn't do anything with them.
Could you please talk about, just excuse me a minute, what do you mean by redundancy? Because I'm not on the board, I don't know what that means.
There was so many restrictions set on individual properties, and most of them were one on top of another on top of another, and there was very rare instances where between the setback, your frontage on the road, the upland circle, and the minimum lot size, you just didn't need all those items. One overwrote the other. We merely changed the verbiage from upland circle. They still need the same area of upland area, but we changed it from an upland circle to a front yard circle, which enables it to move slightly from touching the frontage.
Presently, you need 70,000 square feet minimum lot size, correct?
Correct.
52,005 has to be upland.
Correct.
This came about in 2004 because we had a subdivision that went in that basically every single lot, the only way you could get to the upland was by a wetland crossing.
Correct.
And could that situation exist sometime in the future, or are we basically just running out of land? This basically helps someone who's had a lot and wants to build now on it, and we don't want to have any further restrictions.
That's exactly who it could help.
But that lot would still need the minimum
It needs everything the same.
52,005 of contiguous upland.
Yes.
Okay.
Any further questions? Have a copy coming up. Anyone have a question on this article? Then we'll move to a vote, and it has to be counted because it's a zoning change. All in favor of this article, please raise your cards. Counters, please count. Thank you. You may put your cards down. All opposed to this article, please raise your cards.
0.
The final count is 115 in favor, 12 opposed. It is more than 2/3. Article 12 passes. Article 13.
I move that the town vote to amend the zoning map as identified in section 3.2.1 of the zoning bylaw as follows, by changing the zoning from industrial B district to residential district of the following parcels. Identified below by assessors map and parcel number comprising of approximately 174.584 acres of land, as shown on lots numbers 1 to 3 of the map showing the affected parcels as written.
Second.
Second.
Finance Committee?
Finance Committee does not recommend approval.
Does not?
Does not.
Does not. You'll be asked to ask why in a minute. The Planning Board have a hearing?
The planning board held hearings, and at the end of the hearings, the planning board did vote to not recommend this article.
So the Planning Board is introducing it, but it is not in
Correct.
favor of it, and the Finance Committee is not in favor of it. Well, seeing as you have the floor, would you tell us why?
We were very much in favor of it until some of the residents came forward and introduced sort of a third choice, which wasn't part of our choice, and they are presently industrial B, and instead of wanting residential in there for their property, they asked about possibly moving to commercial.
Okay, and that's not within the framework
No, it
of
was
the
not,
present
and
article?
It's not the planning board's ever intention to zone something outside of what somebody wants, so.
Okay. Finance Committee, same reason?
Yes, sir. Same
Okay.
reason.
We'll move to a vote. Both the Finance Committee and the Planning Board have not recommended this article. I'm going to go for unanimous. So it's got to be unanimous. Otherwise, we're going to go back to account. All in favor, please raise your cards. I see no cards. Put your cards down. All opposed, please raise your cards. Thank you. You may put them down. I declare it unanimously defeated. Article 14.
Article 14, the planning board moves to that the town vote to postpone this matter indefinitely.
Second.
Matter has been made to postpone indefinitely. That kills the bill. That's the only legal way we have of removing it from the warrant when we put it on, and that's the way it works. Anyone have a question? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All in favor of postponing this indefinitely, please raise your cards. Thank you. You may put them down. All opposed, please raise your cards. Wave it vigorously. I do not see any. I declare that Article 14 fails unanimously. Article 15.
I move that the town vote to accept Cedar Pond Road as a town way, as laid out by the Board of Selectmen, and authorize the Selectmen to acquire by gift, purchase, or eminent domain an easement or fee simple in the way and related easements, as shown on the road layout plan drawn by SciTech Incorporated, on file with the town clerk, as shown on sheets 2, 3, and 4 of the plan entitled Subdivision As-Built Plan, Cedar Pond Preserve in Lakeville, Mass., dated June 5th, 2017.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Does the Finance Committee have a recommendation?
Finance Committee recommends approval.
Thank you. This is an acceptance of a public way, of a private way to a public way, correct?
Correct.
Any discussion? Seeing none, we move to a vote. This is a majority vote. All in favor, please raise your cards. Thank you. You may put them down. All opposed, please raise your cards. I see none. I declare that Article 15 passes unanimously. Article 16.
I move that the town vote to accept Quequetian Circle as a town way, as laid out by the Board of Selectmen, and to authorize the Selectmen to acquire by gift, purchase, or eminent domain an easement or fee simple in the way and related easements as shown on the road layout plan drawn by SciTech Incorporated, on file with the town clerk as shown on sheet 5 of the plan entitled Subdivision As-Built Plan, Cedar Pond Preserve in Lakeville, Mass., dated June 5th, 2017.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Finance Committee have a recommendation?
We recommend approval.
Anyone care to speak to the article? Is that you, Joe? No, okay. You rose. Seeing no one discussing, we will move to a vote. This is a majority vote. All in favor, raise your cards. Thank you. You may put them down. All opposed? I see no opposed. It's unanimously accepted. Article 18. 17.
I move that the town vote to accept Ron Circle as a town way, as laid out by the Board of Selectmen, and to authorize the Selectmen to acquire by gift, purchase, or eminent domain an easement or fee simple in the way and related easements as shown on the road layout plan drawn by SciTech Incorporated, on file with the town clerk as shown on sheet 3 of the plan entitled Subdivision As-Built Plan, Cedar Pond Preserve in Lakeville, Mass., dated June 5th, 2017.
Thank you. I hear a second?
Second.
Finance Committee?
Finance Committee recommends approval.
Any questions? Move to a vote. All in favor of accepting this as a public way, raise your hand, cards. Thank you. You may put them down. All opposed, please raise your cards. I see none. It's unanimously accepted. I now will entertain a motion to dissolve.
So moved.
Motion has been made to dissolve. Is it seconded?
Second.
All in favor, raise your cards. Thank you. You may put them down. All opposed? I see none. Go catch the hockey game.